Hi, I'm William Tenholder, and I welcome you to my Masters 2000 series. This is a spectacular game. I'm going to call this Disneyland on ice. It is as if you were on some kind of roller coaster, and then you slip and slide at the end, and it's just a wild game. So it's full of critical moments, and I'm going to bring you to those critical moments. This is a really fun opening. Attack. It's attack. Just a super fun opening. And they get their D pawn all the way to the fourth rank, which is extraordinary. And so I opposed. I didn't want them to connect. Now, let's go through this at Magnus speed, and we'll see right away. There's a tricky trap I set up right away. Critical moment, they had to protect that, and so we kept the pin on that pawn. They attack the queen. Queen wisely moves back, and so we'll go through this at good speed. We're going to see set up here to open the file. So I'm fine with that. I sacrificed the knight, but I got the bishop, the black bishop. So, and now I open up my file, and that file I'm going to use to win the game. So I'll take you through this pretty quickly. Critical moment here. The white queen must protect the H1 diagonal to A8 diagonal. Must. So let's see how this goes. They're trapping the bishop. Sorry, sad to see him go, but we did get control of that white diagonal, and you'll see how very important that is for this game. So yeah, I pretty much let that knight go off there because I knew the knight did not have much use on the side of the board, whereas my queen on the white diagonal is going to be very powerful. So now the rook is lined up, and you can see this is just chess, Disneyland. There are tricks and traps. You know, there was a pin. I went fast through there, but that was another one. You know, really important to get this this pin. We did not want to let that knight, if it gets into our territory deeper, which would have been on E4, would have been hard to get rid of. Impossible, actually. Okay, so now we get rid of that knight, and we set up this move. Now, this would be the smooth move of the game. It's just going to put them in a world of hurt. They have to try to protect their pieces, and so we're just going to come in and dominate this side of the board. And that was all thanks to opening up that file. Take note for all the intermediates. Don't open up a file for your enemy. And yeah, they did a little trick there with the pawns. Now the whole center is locked up, and I've got the whole side of the board. I forced a queen trade on the 6th rank because this was better for me. King has to move. I move my king to get the rooks going. And now here's the critical move of the game. At this point, you have to realize what to do. And, they had a choice here. It's a critical moment. And you know what? They blew it. They moved their knight. And this is often the case. I'm probably a little higher ranked player than they are, playing a great game. But lower ranked players usually will make a move that is, you scratch your head. Why did you do that? Because this is what happens. Rook takes rook, rook takes rook, rook takes rook. Now, evidently, they did have a plan. They did plan to bring their knight in and, do some damage and hopefully bring in their pawns. However, they didn't really pull it off very well. Now, at this point, they really pulled a tricky move, and this was the critical move of the game. I mean, they had an incredible plan. Because your first impulse is to take that knight, right? Oh, look at that, I can take the knight. Guess what? The pawn is going into queen. And, yeah, I think you could stop it. See, pawn takes knight. Pawn moves up. Rook moves over. Yeah, you could still stop it. But, it was precarious. I had to be careful there. So just bring in the king. And so we see a few more tricks here. And then it's our turn to pull a few tricks. And this is the tricky move of the game. Take the pawn and take the knight. And that wins the game pretty much on the spot. Black could pretty much resign, but they had some pawns. So our pawn's just racing up the board. And they try a few tricks. But my friends, this game is over. Yeah. 2-move checkmate. You can move the pawn up the board, they resign, right? But you can also take the f4 pawn checkmate. So this player did resign. My pleasure to bring you this Disneyland on Ice edition. I'm William Tenholder, and I love chess.